Discovery, go and throttle up.
Hey guys. Hi. How's your Thursday going? Mine's not going great. Mine's not good. Mine's not having a good day. Peachy. All right, there you go. There you go.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
Hey, 48, can you link up that tweet? Title and Primo okay? Relatively, I guess. Alright, hang on. Hang on, I'm looking around for the post. I can't because you have to log in, so yeah. So honestly, this isn't even the worst part of my day, but yeah, you know what? Until we get an official link, I ain't gonna say nothing. A plane that was owned by Greg Biffle crashed at Statesville, North Carolina airport this morning. And that's where a lot of NASCAR drivers fly out of. Yeah, and that's about it. And the flight plan had it going to Sarasota Bradenton. Yeah, that's not good. All right. What do you got here? Is that post still up, dudes?
Discovery, go at throttle up.
I don't want to show that, dude. Man. But it's a good NASA administrator. Yep. Yep. Yeah, still there. More good news. Man, the Jared Isaacman's confirmation is a diamond in a just steaming pile of duty that is the end of this year. Hey, Aligard. Starlink anomaly on orbit. I saw that this morning, but yeah. The other stuff I should probably just get out of the way while we're here. So, fellas, I had Christmas plans for the stream, or like plans for next week, streaming Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then taking Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. I might, the plans might change. Bree and I might have to bug out to Michigan for a little while. Yeah, not great. So yeah. What was the Starlink anomaly? One of the satellites malfunctioned, and it's in a decaying orbit, so it's not that big of a deal, but SpaceX was just posting about yeah, they posted about it. I don't know, RJ. I mean, yeah. So, yeah, Bree's grandpa's in the hospital right now, and he's on a DNR, which means do not resuscitate. So we might have to bug out. I can't say when and where that's gonna happen. So, fellas, if I'm gone for a little while, you know what happened. So, yeah, and then Greg Biffle's plane crashing is just the cherry on top. That's just the cherry on top. ARJ, we're good. We're just waiting on what's going on. We've talked to Bree's family and everything's okay. We're just in a holding pattern for now. Oh, it's already Jim, don't worry about it. We're good. We're good. So, yeah, it's just more good news for us. And then, yeah, this plane crashed. So, this is just, dude, this year sucks. This year sucks. No, it's probably better to play KSP and just have some fun, you know? So that's what we'll do. Let me just load up Kerbal and go. More Battlefield. I mean, maybe later. Yeah, Scott, thank you. We appreciate it, man. I'm not, guys, I don't think we're not, like, necessarily looking for sympathy or anything. It's just, yeah, I might have to bug out. Yeah, there you go, Venus. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, ARJ. Yeah, no, it's not fun, dude. I'm sorry for your loss. It sucks. Yeah, Chris. Yeah, I got you, man. Thanks, dude. Yeah. What happened to Rook? Nothing. Rook's fine. He was sworn in as NASA administrator. Yeah, so that's good. That's like the one saving grace from this whole stupid freaking year, man. Oh my goodness. This just... When does it end, dude? Like, I'm not even looking...
Tranquility Base here.
Been looking for, like, much.
You guys were looking for me?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was looking for you. No, I'm not. Nah, we'll be fine, AJ. It'll bounce back. It'll bounce back. It always does. It's just, man, this one sucks, dude. All right. So, sorry for the drama and everything. I apologize. I'm not really into doing that. Let's get to work, shall we? Did Jared make any posts yet? Yeah, of course he did. Oh, I had it. Give me 1 second. I'll find it. Yeah. Bad luck comes in waves. Always outweighs the good, man, but you got this. Same with your family, you got this. Yeah, Chris, I appreciate it, dude. I appreciate it. I've had, like, I'm really, really hoping that I just got a lot of bad luck out of the way. The streamer luck over the last freaking 6 months has been not good for you, boy, but I'll keep plugging and we'll keep going. If you're going through hell, keep going. Big day today, giant step forward for rocketry. Oh yeah? I'm humbled by this opportunity, proud to serve, ready to work alongside the most talented minds in America as we continue the greatest adventure in human history. Sincerely, Jared Isaacman, NASA Administrator. Hell yeah, let's go, dude. Oh, that's good, man. Let's freaking go, man. Am I the only one who didn't know we had data back from DART? Oh no, yeah, that's actually, yeah, Dean. They got data back from the DART mission a little while back. All right, hold on. As I step into this role, I make these personal commitments. I will champion the bold objectives of human space exploration, scientific discovery, and a thriving orbital economy that ensures America's leadership in space. We will never again give up our capabilities to reach for the stars, and we will never settle for second. Oh. Integrity. I will serve responsibly, transparently, and without personal gain, covering every cost I am legally permitted to, and fully adhering to my ethics agreement. My loyalty is to my country, my president, and the space agency that has inspired me since I was a child. Urgency. I will intensely focus the agency on achieving the near impossible, the very reason NASA was established in the first place. We eliminate the bureaucracy that impedes progress and empower the best and brightest to take ownership, move quickly, accept smart risks, and act with a relentless focus on mission success. Yeah, Tessa, I don't hate it. Every launch, every scientific breakthrough must inspire the next generation to dream bigger, to reach higher, and believe that anything is possible. In addition to my existing philanthropic efforts, I will donate my salary as administrator to the U.S. Space and Rocket Center's Space Camp to help prepare for the pioneers of tomorrow. Good man. Be like this guy. It's just a roller coaster, Binary. It's a roller coaster of emotions, man. I don't want to live through history, man, you know? Like, can I just keep observing history instead of living through it? This sucks, but this is great, but this sucks. It's a freaking roller coaster, man. I hate it, but I like it at the same time, but it also sucks. I really hope he isn't a flop when it's said and done. You know what, man? If his Senate confirmation was any indication on what he's going to get done, guys, and keep in mind, this isn't necessarily a metric. This isn't necessarily a metric for like how good you're going to be as NASA administrator, but also it's just something to think about. Jim Bridenstine, when he had his Senate vote, it was 50-50, right down the line. The vice president, Mike Pence, at the time, was the tie-breaking vote to make him NASA administrator. And look what Jim was able to do. Jim did just fine. He didn't tell the party line. He did what he had to do, and he did a pretty damn good job. With that all being said, Rook got basically about 70% of the Senate vote. A Senate supermajority vote for an administrator. I'm not entirely sure that has ever happened. I'd have to go look at the tallies for past NASA administrators. Jim was way closer than this, and look at the job that he did. I think Rook's going to do great things. I really do. I really do, and I think his devotion to NASA, as aforementioned, is way higher than towing some bullcrap party line. I really do. Well, at least we hope so. We hope. I think he will do good work. I really hope. Please do good work. Please. Just wanted to tell you, good luck. We're all counting on you. Why are you calling him Rook? That's his call sign? I have more transparency. Yeah, see, because you could see through my hat. Hey, outdoorsman. Are you, recovered? How long will that last? I mean, yeah, I don't know, AirJ. I don't know. Brother, I'm not trying to, we talked about this. I'm not trying to play any games or any of that nonsense. I'm not trying to do it. I'm just trying to look for a W, man. I'm trying to look for a W, dude. I really am. I am inherently an optimistic person. It has been really hard to do that lately. It's been a little difficult to do that lately, but hey, we'll see what happens, man. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, let's get to it. What do we got for the missions? We gotta rescue Melvin out of orbit. We gotta...
Listen, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Where is there a Patriots logo on your piece of cheese?
Do you mean why? Buddy, what color is your cheese? I'm just trying to be realistic on expectations. Yeah, I understand. We'll see. Mostly recovered, but your eye still twitches and I'm at work losing your mind. Don't chug energy drinks, dude. Jeez. Alright, so attach a new part to a satellite in orbit around Minmus. Aging Minmus satellite CMM satellite 4-79. That satellite has a gravioli indicator on it. YouTube chat's wondering, outdoorsman, why you couldn't have just shotgunned a beer like a normal person. You drinking a cold one right now, Chris? Nice, dude. Here's my screenshots from the mock loop the other day. The sound was amazing. Oh, you took pictures. Cool.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Hey, Achilles, 54-month resub. Oh, that's awesome. Dude. Yeah, exactly. Brooks is not Ordon, so if that's any indicator, maybe some good stuff will happen. We'll see. Oh, Doom was right with me, dude. That's super cool. No, wait, Super Hornet. Killer. Now I need to find the HOTAS in one of the moving boxes in the garage. I had to dust mine off. Oh, all the clicking from yesterday was me flipping the switches on the HOTAS, so I took it away from my desk so we wouldn't click anything. All right, so attach a new part to a satellite in orbit around Minmus. So we're gonna have a Kerbal. We're gonna need a Kerbal go out there. Let's get Malvin from orbit, and then we will send the rocket out to Kerbin. The switches, dude, just they make the noise, man. My SE to aux switch makes the right noise too. You ready? It looks like it filtered it out mostly, but you get the idea. Nice. Yeah, tactile feel, man. That's absolutely a thing. It's 8:48 in Bonnie, Scotland. Oh, don't let Chris. Don't let Tessa know that you're from Scotland. He's going to be like, oh, hey, look, hey, I'm letting another Scot on the internet. It can't be Scotland. It's got to be that. Yeah, that last part was an actual sentence. You understood it, didn't you? I'm just messing, dude. Don't let Tessa know. He's gonna be like, oh, there's another Scotland. There's other Scotlands, and if you guys conspire together, you might go Braveheart on us. So we gotta be careful. You agree wholeheartedly. All right, so Okay, just to be very clear, am I being a jerk? Yes, absolutely. But it's all in good fun. I do believe the term is a cheeky git. And it just sounds weird that I'm saying that. Yeah, you cheeky git. You gotta say it like that. There's at least a half dozen of us here. It's fine. I don't mind the Scottish people, but you did side with the king during the American Revolution. It's not great, mate. Not good. And the North is conspiring against us. There's a reason why the Romans built the wall to keep you guys over there. Like, you could just stay up there with your sheeps. You speak our language in incoherent dribble. Yes. I blame Top Gear for knowing anything about this at all. It's mostly Jeremy Clarkson's fault when he makes fun of people from the North. You know what I mean. In honor of Fallout Season 2, I made some tweaks to the Windows terminal. Oh, that's sick, Illness. That's awesome, dude. Hey, Ari. Haven't been over much. How's the save going? Actually, haven't had a lot of time to play KSP, dude, but we're going to change that today. All right, so we're going to attach a part to that satellite. And we got to find Malvin is in an equatorial orbit, and if we're gonna go to Minmus after that, okay. Technically, the Scots were on your side. We were mercenaries. Yeah. It's not Scotch. It's whiskey. I do like whiskey, mate. It's a good time. All right, so, or the French, or the Italians, or the Germans. Yes, precisely. All right, let's do this. All right, so where we last left off, we got MLV. We brought my medium launch vehicle from the very, very end of my mission mode save, the mission mode 2 save, before I crashed out hard and failed. We brought MLV into the fold. Check this thing out. We do need to make a couple of tweaks to it here and there. And I need to move some things around, but this thing is baller. It's really good. I really, really like the way this vehicle's coming together. We did do some modifications to it. The unfortunate thing about MLV is that it carries a ridiculous price tag because the first stage is fully reusable. The landing legs that I engineered down here are basically 1,000 times better than the landing legs that we have on Condor 9 right now, because they're, like I said, this rocket is designed to be fully reusable. This, when I say fully reusable, I mean you could land this thing, drag it back to the launch site, put a new upper stage on top of it, fuel it up, and send it again. Hey, Pat. Just checking in. I am in Canada at the moment with family for Christmas. Oh, that's great. You're in Canada. Oh yeah, that's really good. That's not this country though. But you guys are still good up there. With your Maple Leafs and your polar bears and stuff. Oh yeah, it's great, bud.
Discovery,
anyway, Pat.
go and
Well,
throttle up.
I hope you have a good Xmas. Good Merry Christmas. Hey, Battle, 40-month resub. Yeah, you parked my moose in the igloo for the day. Oh yeah, that's great. That sounds like fun. This is the GitHub that has the instructions. You don't have to do the JSON method. You can just add a theme and change color codes. Oh, that's cool, dude. So I don't think MLV is what we're going to work on today, or what we're going to use. Oh yeah, and the Tims, man. You can't forget the Tims. All right. You have Tim Hortons in Glasgow? No way, dude. They're your go-to in the mornings. In Scotland? All right. It looks like Soyuz without the booster. Ari, that rocket is basically like Orion on top of a Falcon 9. Yeah, it's a thing. Now, guys, what I'm debating is, like, should we put the capsule on MLV? I really don't know how that's going to work. Sorry, are you co-manifesting anything? The part repair mission, Pigzig, is probably what we're going to do. I need to see what that satellite needs, though. Sorry, guys, I was talking with Bree. Okay, not the worst news. All right, when is Rick supposed to start? He's basically started, Chris. John Krause has, check this out. John Krause, dude's kind of Brooks' photographer for the Polaris program. He's also a really, really great launch photographer. Give him a follow. You go look at his pictures. John's pictures are some of the best in the business, dude. He took this picture of Jared going into NASA HQ 45 minutes ago, dude. So when did he start? Like right now, dude. How cool is that, huh? That's NASA's HQ, baby. Really, Tessa? That's interesting. All right. Okay. So, it looks like Secret Service detail. Joe, would administrator positions have Secret Service details? You can get dunks there too. Oh, that's kind of cool. Dude, I'll be honest with you fellas. I had Dunkin's in Michigan and it was terrible. I don't know how to feel about this. When Bree and I were in Michigan for Thanksgiving, I had Dunkin'. And it was awful. It was terrible. Dude, the coffee tasted terrible. Like, nothing like the coffee that you get in New England, which is very weird. That one threw me for a little bit. I'm like, oh man, I'm really conflicted about this. This freaking coffee sucks. Yeah, Bree, how could they... Only a donut shop from Boston would keep the best donuts for themselves. It's like, oh no, we're not gonna grow the business. You can just have you guys have the slop. All right, we'll leave the good donuts here in the Northeast. We leave all the good donuts for ourselves. Never mind growing the brand. Screw that, dude. No, we're just leaving the donuts. We just take all the good donuts. All right, you guys can have the rest. You guys have the defects. He's also a billionaire, so he's secure. Yeah. Eat local donuts, not chains. Rob, that's my problem. Dunkin' Donuts is the local chain for me. Bro, the first Dunkin' Donuts ever in Quincy, Mass is like 30 minutes that way. Like, it's not far, you know? The administrator gets protection from NASA ops. Cool. It's probably because of all the tea in the water from Michigan? So where in Boston would it be good for a Scotsman to grab a lovely pint? Need some tips and tricks. Chris, dude, there's a huge population of Irish Americans here. Boston has a lot of Irish, so you're gonna find a good place to drink. You go to the South End. Not the South End. The South End is not Irish. Like, okay, here's the thing. Just real quick before we jump in. So Boston is very interesting, okay? When the Irish came here, they all went south, okay? When the Italians came here, they all went north. Now, I live down here. So there's 1,000 good places to drink, dude. Like down here. But if you're in the city, any Irish pub is good. Right over here, there's a couple of good bars there. And then if you go into the Seaport District, there's more like high-end stuff. But if you go down to Southie here, you go on D Street, I'm sure you'll find a good spot. That's where like the real Irish pubs are. But the thing about this place, dude, the thing about that is that it's getting gentrified to hell. Like hipsters everywhere, dude. Think like Brighton. I know that's not in Scotland, that's on the other side of the isle, like the island, but I get it. Or the south part of the island. Like it's like Brighton over here, dude. That's where like influencers go and be like, oh, it's so real. You know, let me take a selfie with. It's like, okay. JP is like that too. Yeah. Seaport, that's where you stayed last January. The Seaport's great, man. The Seaport used to be all parking lots, dude. Yeah, there's a lot of really nice on Seaport Boulevard. There's a lot of really nice high-end stuff. But you want the down and dirty, nitty-gritty pubs, dude. Southie is good, and then all on the South Shore. There's all kinds of good stuff just peppered in here. Yeah, you want good food? Go north. Seriously. So, the south part of Boston, over here. So, South Boston is the historically Irish neighborhood, and then North Boston, it's not called North Boston, it's called the North End. This is where all the Italian food is. Like, this is where you'll be walking down the street and somebody will be yelling out the window about how they hate somebody. Hey, you suck, what are you doing? Like, oh yeah, like, people talk with their hands over there. So, yeah, you want good food? North End. You want good beer? South. And then anything in between is pretty okay. There's a bunch of good bars around Fenway. There's the Cask. Cask is a little bit high-end, but right across the street from Fenway is Cask and Flagon. You're heading over to the Scotland v Morocco game at Gillette Stadium. Tessa, you hearing this? Like Edinburgh. I've never been to Edinburgh, dude. I only know Brighton is gentrified from because a couple of influencers or content creators that I watch live there. Is Edinburgh the equivalent, Tessa? I believe you. The Cask is where you saw the Bruins win the cup? Oh, that must have been great, dude. Well, Chris, if you're in my neck of the woods, let me know. And Tessa, you as well. Like, we already talked about that a little bit. Just one thing. Okay? There's 2 ways to get to Gillette Stadium from the city. First of all, the stadium is not in the city. Fenway Park, if you wanted to play, I believe what you guys would call rounders. Fenway Park's right there. And if you want to see a hockey game, the Garden is over here. That's pretty cool. You know, if you like hockey or basketball, the Boston Celtics, which is a basketball team, the Bruins play here. If you're an architecture nerd, it's actually super cool because the stadium and a bunch of skyscrapers are built on top of a train station. Pretty neat. I always liked driving by this growing up because it's cool. If you want to see where we kicked the British's teeth in 1775, you can go to Breeds Hill over here. Bunker Hill Monument is there. That's pretty cool. You want to see the oldest commissioned warship? Not the oldest surviving warship. That's I believe, the HMS Victory. That's the oldest commissioned warship in existence, the USS Constitution. There's a bunch of cool stuff to see. The old State House here on State Street, it's kind of buried in a bunch of skyscrapers right there. The old State House still has the OBE on it. It still has the Order of the British Empire. The lion and everything, all the logos are still there. We just never took it down because we were like, whatever, I'm not going up there. You've been there in Fallout. Yeah, baby. Yeah, so Chris, if you're in my neck of the woods, oh, you're a Pats fan. Yeah, it's in Foxborough. You're a Patriots fan? All right. Well, we'll get it. Yeah, all right, Chris, I like you more now. Oldest commissioned warship afloat. It's not the oldest surviving warship. It's the oldest commission, though. U.S. Navy still uses this ship. It is in commission to teach people how to sail. It's been, John, 1789, right? It was part of the original 6 frigates that were ordered by the U.S. Navy. It was some of the first ships for the U.S. Navy that were purpose-built for the U.S. Navy and weren't like the Bon and Richard that we kind of appropriated. Didn't they got the basement of the old State House for T construction? No, maybe to an extent, but it's still pretty much the same. So, yeah, the stadium, you can take the train to the stadium if you really want to. It's a little bit of a ride, but you go to South Station, and you take the train. So see how the tracks fork right here? It's this line, that one, not this one. This one goes to my neck of the woods. Don't take that one. You want to take this one that goes through Milton and stuff. That one has a spur. There's a spur line, right? That goes to Foxborough. There it is. The spur line goes right to the stadium. Where the heck is the stadium? Oh, it's over here. No, it was a little bit further down. But yeah, during the games, they'll definitely have train service here. The MBTA will have train service there. They do that for every foosball game. Ordered in 1794, commissioned in 1797. That's what it is. Hey, Nader. Logan has a shuttle to Foxborough, too. Yep. I did, Lev. I did hear about that. You're wearing your Brady shirt right now? Respect. Right on, man. So, yeah, dude. If you're in my neck of the woods, and Tessa, obviously it was extended to you guys. If you're here for the Scotland game, you tell me. We'll go. We'll go and I'll take you to all the bars that I know. Hang on, guys. I got another message. Rhea, you still here? Oh no. Oh crap. Happy Mayflower Rock Day, by the way. That's right, Dean, yeah. Oh. Bree, your dad just found out that Greg Biffle passed away. Yeah. I was telling your mom, like, don't tell him. And and she was like, well, he told me, and I'm like, no. Guys, Bree's dad's a huge Cleater fan. He's a huge Cleater fan, bigger than me. Yeah, I'm like, that's not great for you to, crap. I think so, South Ron, yeah. I think he was on it, man. I'm here to vent for a second. The FAA screwed up my test, so I can't take it till next week. Freaking blue balls and rip Greg Biff. Yeah, it's all right, man. It's the holidays. I know, Paul. It's so sad, dude. Oh, yeah, Garrett confirmed it. Oh, my goodness. Will this year just piss off? All right, just end it. Gosh, dang, dude. See you last. What's up, outdoorsman? Your EAA offer still stands. Okay, cool. Good to know. All right, what is... Frick this day, dude. Holy... Frick this year, man. This year sucks. We need a monopropellant tank to attach to the satellite, which has no monopropellant thrusters on it. All right, cool. Good. What type of orbit is this bad boy in? Oof. Oof. Oofda. I mean, it is min-miss. It should be okay to cap, but we have to make sure we're in the right phase for this, dudes. So here's the thing, a little bit on mission planning. We got to make sure that min-miss is going across Kerbin's ascending or descending node when we try to rendezvous with it. The reason why is it's going to make the mission a little bit more efficient, and by a little, I mean a lot. So check this out. Malvin is the first mission. We got to rescue him from his ship. His ship is in a perfect equatorial orbit. Now, it's going to be a pain in the butt if we get into the orbit, we rescue him, right? And then try to go to min-miss, which is 6 degrees inclined. Well, I hate this day. Greg Biffle's plane crashed, dude. Hang on. Sorry, I'm just shooting Bree's dad. Shooting Bree's dad a text. Wait, what happened? Greg Biffle's plane crashed this morning, Flykin. Yeah. Anything else, 2025? Anything else? Anything else? Bro, just anything else? What the frick? What the frick? Like, who's Greg Biffle? Don't tempt it. Yeah, I know, dude. I'm tempted to just be like Lieutenant Dan. You call this a storm? You know? Greg Biffle is a former NASCAR driver, guys. And, so there's a YouTube channel that I'm a huge fan of, Cletus McFarland. He's on Cletus all the time. Yeah. Greg Biffle got hooked up with Cletus McFarland because they did humanitarian missions, dude. Because Cletus, actually, it's interesting, and I asked him about it once, like, when I went to a Cletus event, like, Cletus is a huge plane nut. He's a huge aviation nerd, so he's a helicopter, he's a couple planes and stuff, because YouTube, dude, he's like top, like, 1% YouTuber, dude. He does a lot of car content, like drag racing and stuff, and he's awesome. He's a great dude. Like I said, I've talked to him. I've talked to him in person. He's an awesome guy. Garrett's really cool. I don't think he'll remember me or anything, but him and Greg Biffle did humanitarian missions. Like when the hurricanes went through in North Carolina last year, They got in their helicopters, flew up there, and started delivering supplies to people up in the mountains. And then this year, when that hurricane, actually very recently, when that hurricane hit Jamaica, they flew down there. They dropped everything that they were doing, flew down there, and started, using their helicopters to rescue people that had got stranded and help rebuild the parts of Jamaica that got like wrecked and stuff, dude. It sucks, man. That sucks. They're good people. It's really, that's what kills me about Biff, man. He's just him and Cleet are generally good people. Cleeter's fine, from what I understand. I think we lost him flanking, yeah. November 257 Bravo Whiskey, yeah. So they, yeah, he was, there's this, Kennedy Center to be renamed Trump Kennedy Center, White House says. I don't, whatever, dude. I don't care. This doesn't bother me. Like, I don't want to talk about him, dude. Yeah, they delivered Starlinks. That's right. They delivered Starlinks to people, dudes. In Jamaica, in North Carolina and stuff, just so people could like connect with their loved ones, man. Like, and they didn't. Like, the crazy thing is, they didn't post it for clout or anything. They just went and did it and then talked about it later. Like, him and Cleeter stopped everything that they were doing and just left in their helicopters and went to start delivering supplies. Like, real good people, man. It sucks losing somebody like him. It really sucks, dude. My heart goes out to them. Your hat's tricking the green screen. I know, I see it. Yeah. Yeah, the western North Carolina, man, those people got the shaft so hard, Joe. If I had a helicopter, dude, I'd be down there. Like, those people got shafted so bad, dude. Like, even the people that like lived up the canyons a little bit, Joe, it's just the erosion from a freaking 20-foot water surge. Like, what do you do, man? Nader, you flew as an SAR volunteer down there in North Carolina and Tennessee. I chased the hurricane up that way, then went home and flew back down to help. Actually got to meet Cleet down there too. Very cool, down to earth dude. No crap, man. That's awesome, dude. Respect. His Cletus McFarland is a screen name, by just like EJ is mine, right? Like, the guy's name is Garrett, man, for what it's worth. Like I said, I've met him. He's a good dude. It was rough in East Tennessee, too. The river went a foot above the record. You're very behind. Oh, I see your last. What's up, Outdoorsman? What's on your mind, dude? Your EAA offer still stands. Yeah. I saw it, man. I saw it. All right, let's do this mission. Let me go in here. I need to make some modifications to this, and we have to start grinding out money to get the better R&D so we can unlock the bigger parts for a better rocket. Yeah, but yeah, my heart goes out to Greg and his family, dude. That sucks. It's just more good news, dudes. More good news, homies. But hey, look. Fellas, this is the last thing I'm going to say about it. I mean, it's probably not. People are going to be asking about it all day. But, fellas, I'll just say this, homies, okay? Just, look. It's easy to throw in the towel when the going gets too tough. It's very easy to do that. It's easy to quit. But, you know, that's easy. If most things that are difficult, most things that are tough are usually worth doing. So if you get hard challenges in life, you know, that you plug through it, it's just a test. It's the universe testing you. And you'll come out stronger on the other side. You know, whether you chose to be in it or not. But, just, yeah. It doesn't kill you, makes you stronger. Your time for revenge is at hand. Well, this is the F1. It's light, handy adjustable, good for riders and lefties. Word on firepower, titanium burst at 3 to 3,000. With replay, another Zorg invention, it's even easier. Fire and replay sends all the following shots to the same location. General Patton said, if you're going through hell, just keep going. Just keep going. That's cool, SVO. The flooding was insane, dude. I saw Cleater's video on it, man. Yeah. Keep on trucking, bros. Keep on trucking. This, you know, it's a test. The universe is testing you. The universe is testing us. We'll get through it. We'll get through it. I ain't heard no bell. All right. So, some modifications that I wanted to make to this real fast. We need to upgrade to the vernier thrusters here, get rid of the monopropellant systems like we did with the other Condor, with the Condor uncrewed version. And then I do believe that that's actually it. I got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime. Oh, the last thing that I needed to do here is, yeah, Chris, hopefully. The winds in Montana got crazy yesterday. Trees over 100 years old now got turned into firewood. Oy. Like I said, guys, just keep everything into perspective, man. Keep everything in perspective. And just, the other thing is just be careful. If you're on social media a lot, I do it to keep up with space news, but the algorithm gonna algorithm. It's gonna show you the information. It's gonna show you, it's gonna tell you what you want to hear. So just careful you're not getting too caught up in that crap, okay? Oh, and if you have grandparents, call them, please. They want to hear from you, okay? I'm not kidding. Please do that. I'm not asking you to do it. Just do it, man. Do it! Malvin is an engineer. Perfect. All right, so we just need a scientist and a pilot. You don't have grandparents anymore. That's why I said if you have grandparents, do it. What is it with the fat lady? You're obsessed with the fat lady. All right, guys, I just got to take a leak real quick, and then we go. Okay. All right, so we just got to go in here, and I got to swap out this thruster. The crew version still has monopropellant, and that has prevented... We're not going far like that. That has prevented me from flying, or from landing this a couple of times. So get our thrusters ready to go. Save that, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to merge this with the Block 2 cargo. There's the cargo. And we should just be able to, if you shift left click, it'll take the thruster quadrant off. And then if we move this out like that, boom, baby. Here we go. Now we have better thrusters. Ho, ho, ho. Now I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho. Excellent. Gateway transfer vehicle sounds nice. I'm saying, look, Gateway with a Vasimir on it, that's a different story than than they're just standard electric propulsion. That's a different story. Can't call your 98 grandmother just went to the hospital yesterday afternoon. Andrew, go to the hospital. I'm not even kidding. Shoot, chase the fenster. Shoot the glass. And the other thing is that I'm going to upgrade the control surfaces to MLV style control surfaces. So this is a small update that's not going to screw up the screw this up too much. Let's go here. 4 times sim. So what I find with KSP is the control systems respond a lot better if you have dedicated control systems for yaw, pitch, and roll. If you have one control surface doing multiple things, sometimes the vehicle becomes a little bit more difficult to control. So what I'm going to do with this upgrade here is add clusters of 3 control surfaces. 1 for pitch, 1 for yaw, 1 for roll. So we can input individual deflection on the booster. This should make Condor a little bit easier to maneuver back to the landing site. It's a new Death Survivor. Treat every day as your last. Enjoy every minute you can with your family and friends. And remember, don't be a dick. That's right, Paul. Well said, brother. Well said, my dude. We'll keep going. We keep going. We're still here. We're like the freaking cockroach, man. We don't go away. We don't go away, Frank. Okay? If I come in here and I see a cantaloupe on that table, I will lose my mind. If you get that reference, good for you. Because it's an impression of an impression of an impression. If I come in here and I see a cantaloupe on that table, I will lose my mind. Yeah. So, Alan Rickman will always be Hans Gruber for you, but it's Snape for your kids. That's awesome, man. Professor Severus Snape. Al Pacino for short. Ooh-ah. What do we got? All right, I referenced like 5 Al Pacino movies in the past like 30 seconds, so it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Daytona's coming up. Well, yeah, of course. Daytona's one of the first races of the year, but also, yeah, we got the Rolex 24 and a bunch of other good stuff. All right, cool. So Malvin's an engineer. We got to go get Malvin, and then we have to put a monopropellant tank on us. What type of... Hang on. Let me see what they're moving. What are we moving here? Attach a Stratus 5 cylindrified monopropellant tank. Ooh, that's the big monopropellant tank, I think. All right. Okay, so what if we do this? We take this and we remove all the monopropellant from it. Can we put it in the tank? Oh, dang. fist with your toes. Yeah. I'm just a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude. You're a dude that don't know what dude he is. I'm wondering if that mission needs an engineer or if it's just attach it to it and call it. Because we might not have to send Kerbals all the way out there. So let me back it up. Nice, Aldezert. You're about to start a 17-hour 3D print, and remember that tonight will be like 35 knot gusts and temps dropping below 20 C. Nope. Ooh. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that at all. Yeah, I have an engineer. Oh, that makes this a little bit complicated, dudes. All right, how are we gonna do this? Yeah, there you go, username. You got it. That complicates things because I don't think I can fit a monoprop tank. That monoprop tank has to ride on the capsule, and there's really no room for it to ride on the capsule. So perhaps the transfer vehicle first. I'm thinking, man, like I have no cargo carrier in this design that can take the monopropellant tank, even unfueled. Unless we did something like that, which we're not doing something like that. I'm not compromising the launch escape system for something like that. That's a really stupid idea. Okay, so my other thing would be to get the MLV out again and launch another one of those transfer vehicles that we made. Last stream, we built a resupply vehicle. I have no idea where I put it, and I forget what I named it. Lander refueling tug. Here we go. There's the transfer vehicle. It's kind of like a mix between Cygnus and ATV, and a little bit of HTV as well. So what we could do with this, dudes, is we could put the transfer vehicle up in space, right? Then get the capsule up there, rescue the Kerbal, attach the capsule to this, use the transfer vehicle and use the fuel in the transfer vehicle to get out to Minmus, right? Get to the satellite orbit, right? And then unplug the capsule. And then go from there. Sorry for the strange question. Was the Bluesmobile a Monaco or a Polara? It's a 1974 Dodge Monaco. So it's a 74 Monaco police interceptor. They don't call it, Mopar didn't call it a police interceptor. It's just police car. You know, once upon a time, everybody made something like a Crown Vic. Paul, right? Like, this is a C-body Chrysler. It's the full-sized one. That's the full-size sedan. In 1974, they would have, in 1974, they would have given, this car probably wouldn't have had a 440 in it, but the cop cars did. So what Elwood says in the movie, it's got cop tires, cop suspension, model made before catalytic converters. Chrysler probably got an exemption on fleet vehicles. So it did have a, dude, if that thing truly had a big, like an RB440 in it, that thing would have hauled. It would have gone just as fast as it does in the movie. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not going to do backflips or anything, right? But yeah, C-body, dude. Shares a lot of parts with the Coronet, actually. A lot of part similarity. The C-body is it's not a scaled up B-body, but it uses a lot of the same parts. Chrysler did that to save money. Is that the Bluesmobile? Hell yeah, it is, dude. One of my all-time favorite movie cars, man. Where's the Rook tweet, Aitor? Yeah, if that thing did have like an RB engine in it, that's, I know everybody, RB engine nowadays, you think a Nissan motor, which is fair. But Chrysler called the 440 raised block, as opposed to a regular big block. The regular big block would have been a 400 or a 383. For anyone that cares. Yeah, I have useless Mopar knowledge up there, dude. So yeah, probably the right guy to ask. Alex reposted. Alex! Alejandro Alcantarilla Romera. Yeah, I retweeted that too, dude. Yep. It's good stuff, man. I hope he does good, dude. More Greg Biffle stuff. Dude, I gotta stay off X for a little bit. We gotta stay off social media a little bit for the day. I can't go, I'm not going on there, dude. I don't want to do a space news today. I'm having a terrible day already, man. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm just, the 440 was a stroker. Yes and no. Yeah, the raised block refers to the deck height, which does indicate a longer stroke, Tessa, as opposed to the 383 and the 400. So yeah, it's a stroker, but it's not a stroker, but it is a stroker, but it's not. It's a good timeline, Baron. It's good news in a sea of dookie. Did you listen to Car Talk on PBS growing up? Yeah, of course, Serge. Car Talk. Those guys are from Boston, man. Don't act like my brother. Don't act like my brother. They're from Boston, dude. Of course I listen to Car Talk. Car Talk's, dude. Public broadcasting and stuff in Boston is huge because of GBH. Dude, like Joy of Cooking, that's GBH, man. Antiques Roadshow, that's all Boston Public Broadcasting, dude. EJ, how common is it for New Shepard to scrub? It does happen. It doesn't happen that often. Yeah, but what is it? NS37 with Hans Koodingsman on it scrubbed this morning. Auto sequencer didn't like the startup sequence. So Boston has BBC Light. PBS is no joke. I've been to their studio. I've been on their sound stages. Das and I were on their sound stages for that escape room thing. This old house, dude, some of those houses are in my neighborhood where I grew up, and it was just, that was strange, dude. But they were all around the suburbs of Massachusetts. Yeah, I used to drive by some of the This Old houses that they worked on in Natick and stuff, going to work at Best Buy. Yeah, no joke, dude. New Yankee Workshop, Steve Thomas, Norb Abrams. Oh, dude. Yeah, that's PBS, baby. GVH. Bob Vila was okay, but he's no Steve Thomas and Norm Abrams. My uncle, like, met those dudes, yeah, because my uncle's a general contractor, guys. He met him. Yeah, pretty cool. All right, so we're going to use the transfer vehicle to boost us out to the moon. Now, I have to do kind of expenses here. We're trying to grind out cash, but that mission pays really well, but it's not... We gotta figure out all this stuff. But yeah, GBH has a hell of a soundstage, man. It's like real movie set stuff. Super cool. How did GBH become the juggernaut of PBS programming? I don't know, dude. It's just kind of how we do things up here, man. We, I don't know. Yeah, we... John, you know how I'm stubborn and persistent about stuff? Like, if I want to do something, I'll do it. If I want to fix my stupid car, I'm gonna fix my stupid car. Do I know how to do it? No, but I'll figure it out. That's the North. That whole thing right there can justify pretty much anywhere between Philly and Boston. That's just how we do things, man. We'll figure it the frick out. Let's do it. Let's make it amazing. Let's make it awesome. That's just how we do things, dude. Like, John, we've watched JFK's speech. You've watched JFK's speech. Why does Rice play Texas? We choose to go to the moon. That speech. That's Northeast grit in a nutshell. Like, we don't mess around. If we want to do something, we're gonna friggin' do it. MA is the closest thing to the UK and the US. Kind of ironic when you think about it. We ain't the same, brother. We ain't the same. Sorry. You know, like, I'll just keep going. We'll figure it out until you make something amazing. Just keep going, dude. That's how we do things, man. That's, you know, we have a lot of people that aren't from around here nowadays because Boston is super gentrified, right? But, like, the people that grew up here know what I'm talking about, dude. If you're gonna do something, you're gonna do it. You go all in and you do it friggin' right, or you get the frick out. That's just how we roll, man. And don't get me wrong, there are other people like that, but, you know, some stubborn freaking New Englander decided that, you know, with GBH, we're gonna make the best freaking programming in the world. And then they did it, because we can. You know, if you guys like the band Boston, fun fact, Boston isn't a band, it's one dude, Tom Schultz. Tom Schultz was a mechanical engineer from MIT that decided he wanted to make better music than anybody else. So he built a recording studio in his basement in the 70s. Learned how to play every freaking instrument and got Brad Delp to do the vocals and made Boston's first album. Two dudes. It's one of the best-selling rock and roll albums of all time. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's Northeast ingenuity. That's what we do. Now, as much as I don't like New York, they're the same way. They're the same way. Philly, same way, dude. Same thing. Ah, so he's autistic. I don't know. I prefer genius. That's cool. Yeah, I want to just point out the absurdity of building a digital sound studio in your basement in the 70s. Digital sound studio. That's why their albums sound so good. Homeboy built a digital recording studio in his basement. That would be like me building an arc jet in my basement. Like, it's just like, yeah, I got an arc jet down there. Of course I have that. It's like, what? What do you have? Are you... All right. Then do it. I'm not building an arc jet in my basement. That's what I got the shop for. Dude, Hellfish, I'm seriously going to buy another one of those propane heaters, and I will figure out whatever math I need to take that propane heater, hook it to the turbo, and make a freaking turbojet. I will do it. I don't care. We'll do it. We'll make a test stand, and Rick, we'll strap the test stand to a small block Chevy to use it as an anchor so it doesn't move. I think the Australian experts call this the just keep swimming method. You like Boston, but you like Chicago even more. Yeah, it's because you're from Indiana. That'd be like EJ having a mission control in his room. I don't think I'm Tom Schultz smart, man. Tom Schultz is like 160 IQ freaking genius, man. Some of the people that this place has churned out over the years are just absurd. The digital miniaturization of computers was invented here in Massachusetts. That's what we did. You know, the Apollo guidance system, guys, that was made here. The AGC, that was made by people in Boston. We figured it out here. We figured out how to miniaturize electronics for the Apollo program. The Draper Laboratory, they built they like, dude, processor, RAM, like Northbridge, math processor, like that's what we did here. We figured that out here. That's New England, baby. That's how we roll. What's wrong with Indiana? Nothing. I just like giving goalie crap. I have nothing wrong with Indiana. The Hoosiers doing really good. Stupid shower thought that I gotta ask you. Super off topic. Yeah, I'm trying to talk with you guys about stuff to keep my mind distracted. Ignore if too bad, but who wins between the Flood and the Tyranids? Oh. That's a good question, man. Zelio, take your money. Oh, jeez. I think Nids. I'm gonna say Nids versus the Flood, because the Nids will just keep coming until the Gravemind is destroyed. The Nids are just they're like Zerglings. I mean, Zerglings are a ripoff of Tyranids. Like, yeah, the Flood will probably infect a couple Zerglings, but who cares? Who cares? The Nids will keep coming until the Gravemind's wrecked. And once you destroy the Gravemind, that's it. Right? But then again, if the Nids get control of a Carnifex, you're screwed. Carnifex? Yeah, if the Nids get control of a Carnifex, then we got a problem. Or not, if the Flood gets control of a Carnifex, then yeah, that's not going to end well. Now, Flood versus Tribbles, Tessa, to be 100% honest with you, that the Flood versus Tribbles will just, all that will do is just make a hairy Gravemind. A furry Gravemind. Tyranids of the Flood versus the Xenomorphs. Probably, in a three-way battle, the Flood would probably win. All you do is make fluffy Floods. If Tribbles versus Flood, that would just, yeah, that would end very poorly. Have you been to IMS? Of course, Binary. Yeah, I've never been to the museum there. We stopped there during Route 154, man. My white truck, the 97. We've been to Indy. Yeah, I parked it right at the. I'm sorry, guys. I'm having trouble playing today. Just bear with me. I parked it at the south corners. It's probably not what it's called, but yeah, see that parking lot right there? I had the 97 parked there and I took a picture. The south turns. That place is so cool, man. Hallowed ground for me. Just like Daytona. All right. What's the payout on this mission for Minmus? 295. So an MLV is 260,000, but we get 200 of that back, so that leaves a profit at 230. And then if we launch Condor is 50, right? But if we get the first stage back, it's only like 20 or 30. So that'd still give us 220 220 net. That's provided we get most of each first stage back from the double launches. I think so, Cirrus. I'll have to shoot him a message. Ah, the Brooklyn's ripoff. Yeah, whatever, pal. I did, Jimmy. That one hits real close to home, man. Your ancestor was one of the founders of the steam engine. So Sterling, Chris? Yeah, that's pretty cool. Give me 1 second. You know, that's very strange that my buddy has a freaking, like, one of my good friends has a wiki page. That's just bizarre, dude. That's just weird. Yeah, see, Imza for Right Motorsports. He's there. Yeah. That's just bizarre, man. I saw him race that car. They raced the Pete car at Watkins Glen. Interesting. Sat in one of those cars, but that exact car before, dude. Well, not that exact one, but one just looks just like that. Is this the space tug that NASA wanted after Apollo with a small shuttle? More or less, Serge, yeah. I don't have a wiki page, no. I don't want a wiki page. Dude, I'm just me. Alright, so let's get this going. We need to go and rescue the Kerbals first, but we will put the transfer vehicle up in space. Right Motorsports announced Scary's replacement. Why would you replace Scary? Dude, that guy is a savant behind the wheel. He's freaking like Mozart. He's such a good freaking race car driver. Like, dude, yeah. If he drove for one of the, like, dude, he could compete in Daytona Pro, like, all day. James Watt, the Industrial Revolution. You are a descendant of James Watt, Chris? That's pretty cool, man. Yeah, those Watts are pretty cool. I like those. Yeah, one track day in the Mustang. Track days ruin cars, dude. I don't know if I want to do that. I don't want to wreck my Mustang. That car is in really good condition. Okay. I'm sorry, what? How did I know you were... How did I know? The second I said it, I know someone's gonna give me crap. So take Ernox Camaro? Nah, alright. Track days only ruin cars if you drive like a dummy.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
I've never tracked that car. SVO, that car's been down like the drag strip like once. I baby that freaking car. That Mustang only has 76,000 miles on it. I baby it, dude. The only thing that's really, dude, it's throwing a P0442 code because the freaking gas cap filler neck has a leak in it. Right now, it's such a pain in the butt, dude. I heard that. No, you didn't. You're only going to be full-time for the Rolex. Ban that person. Yeah. Ban that guy. Track days don't ruin cars. I've tracked my Z06 a couple of times already. I mean, guys, a little while back, when I was a little more financially, I had a little more financial liquidity, the Mustang needed new lower ball joints. And I found GT500 lower control arms for dirt cheap on Rock Auto, and I bought them. And I put GT500 control arms in that Mustang. I have Shelby lower control arms in Mustang. It's like the only modification that I've done to that thing, dude. I should be tracking my car without you. Okay, that's fair. Yes. Hibbit, yeah. You should have gotten the newer ball joint spindles. They have a bigger ball joint. I got GT500 ones from an 08 GT500. It was a quick thing and I needed the car SVO. This was a long time ago, dude. Remember when I asked you about alignment? But yeah, other than that, dude, I just keep up with maintenance on that car. The interior has gone a little to crap because it's a black car with a black interior and I stored it outside, so it needs new door cards left and right. But other than that, that car is in like perfect condition. So right now it needs an alignment, it needs the door cards fixed, and I need to fix that emissions freaking code. How did they fit? They seem to fit fine. It's the same car, same chassis, dude. All right. Let's get to curbling. We're saying V6 to GT500. Well, I have nicer control arms then. SVO, I'm sure you actually probably know this. The control arm looked like the Coronet. It had been Titanicked pretty badly, so I just replaced it. I replaced it with a control arm that was painted, so it doesn't get screwed up. Hey, Dragon, what's going on? Yeah, guys, I don't know. Maybe we'll do more stuff with the Mustang. That's my daily driver, dudes. I baby that car. It's just my daily. Yeah. And I think the Mustang needs a pan gasket. It was low on oil when I checked it over the weekend. And there's a stain on my driveway, so great. All right. This thing has the monopropellant tanks on it. What year is it? It's a 2008 Mustang GT Dragon. It's got a V8. 4.6 liter V8 with a 5-speed behind it. It's a fun car, but it's my daily driver. I just take care of it, dude. I'm just the steward of that vehicle. Asphalt driveway? Partially, yeah. Most of my driveway is gravel L desert, but it's paved. Some of it is paved. You have a much newer one than I do, Cirrus. It yearns to be driven. I can't get the car will fail MOT, dude. It'll fail. With an EVAT, with an emissions code in Massachusetts, it'll fail. And whatever the state did, they scan the computer. They plug it into like a state database and they scan the computer. So if the computer has detected a fault code in the last 50 miles on the OBD2, even if I clear the codes, they'll still fail it. Car isn't registered anymore? No. Of course it's registered. It won't pass state inspection with a 0442 code. The vent system for the fuel tank, because the filler neck seal dry rotted. What car are we talking about? The Mustang. So clear the code and drive 55 miles so it pops back up again. Methane, you used to watch This Old House on Sunday morning on PBS when you were a kid. Nice, dude. Let's go, dudes. I'm trying to jump in on this. I was gonna just JB weld it, yeah, because raisins. All right, the first thing we got to do is get the lander refueling tug working. So we got to go over to MLV and we got to make some modifications.
Hello, everybody. We're upside chat
At
time.
the side chat with Chris. Okay, cool. Yeah, Nader, I know. I don't like state inspection. I think state inspection is stupid. But then again, man, people already drive like idiots. State inspection, without state inspection, people drive like idiots and then wheels would fall off their car going down the highway, man. So, one of the modifications that I wanted to make to MLV 12, 18, 25 is moving the raceway and the vent structure. The reason why I mean, this is just aesthetic. That's just there to look cool. But I do like it. This is representative of a raceway, which is where the wire harness from the probe core at the top of a stage goes all the way down and connects with all the engines. It usually goes around the fuel tanks because sending electrical signals through the fuel tank is probably, in the oxidizer tank on a rocket, is probably something you don't want to do unless you absolutely have to. So most rockets have have an outside wire harness. This is the colloquial term in the industry is just called a raceway because it looks like a drag strip. But yeah, I want to change it. I want to upgrade the raceway to make it. Yeah, I want to change the position. The reason why I want to change the position is because after the test flight that I had with after the test flight that we did with MLV a second ago, my thruster blocks. So my thruster blocks are up here, and this makes it so on the pitch axis of the booster when it's coming back down, right? You have one thruster for pitch and two thrusters for yaw. I don't want that. Falcon 9 has the flip side of that. The thrusters are on the proverbial port and starboard. The reason why is because the booster, when it's doing its boost back and landing, needs more control on the pitch axis than it does on the yaw axis. The reason why is because when the booster's going up, what does it do? It turns around and flips. It pitches up and turns around and fires its engine, right? So if we're going to move the thrusters down here, we're going to have to move the raceway around. And yeah, that's what we're going to do. So I want to end up putting the raceway up here. And I want to move the thruster block. Did I make those panels not flat? Oh, God. They're panels. Yeah, okay, we're not doing that. Let me just delete that immediately. I made them panels. They're not physicsless, which means yeah, okay. That probably needed to be redone anyway. So take the nose, go and get rid of it. Okay. Now over here we have stage passivation here. This is for after it lands, you have a way to dump the propellants. Falcon 9 also has that, and Falcon 9 has it on its raceway. They integrated them, if I'm remembering right, on Block 5. So what I'm thinking is we put the raceway on the back of the booster, and we move the thrusters to port and starboard, and then we do stage passivation on the top. So once again, these are vents. I have two of them. You generally only need one, but I have this one for oxidizer. I have that one for oxidizer, and I have that one for liquid fuel to represent your oxidizer tank 1, 2, 3, and 4, and your liquid fuel tank here. And also, a thing that's cool on MLV, guys, is that the tanks drain accordingly. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 drain, and they drain in the same amount of time that 1 and 2 drain. That is to give me better balance when I come back down and land. We should probably do that with Condor, but yeah, that puts the center of mass in a more realistic position instead of just going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not how real rockets work. Because real rockets, it's not one big fuel tank, right? On a real rocket, you have an oxidizer tank and you have a fuel tank. And I made this out of 6 Turbodyne S3 7200 tanks, right? And they, once again, this tank drains first. So it's designed to drain 1, 2, and 3 first. And when those tanks run out, then you have 4, 5, and 6. That's there to represent the balance that would be on the rocket if we were using RP1 in kerosene. So the rocket handles more realistically. Just on a side note. You had the wheel fall off on a Dodge Omni. Wasn't a pleasant experience. I've driven a vehicle down the road on 3 wheels. I would not recommend doing that. That was a really stupid thing to do on my part, and I'm kind of ashamed of it. But content though, right, Andre? All right, so let's start with some modifications to MLV. Then we'll give it a test flight, launching that new transfer vehicle, and we'll go from there. Three-wheeling is fun though. Rob, I did it on a stream, dude. It was on stream. Oh, I was very ashamed of myself. I was live streaming driving home in the 97. Rob, I don't know if I've ever told you. You've probably heard me mention it at some point. So I have a 97 F250. It's a 351 with a ZF5 5-speed behind it. It's a 4x2 truck. It's pretty cool. Pretty decent vehicle. Like, it's cool old truck. It's a California truck. It doesn't have any rust. The reason why it's a California truck is because I bought it from a company in California. The company in California that I bought it from, you may have heard of. I bought it from Ken Block. Well, not Ken Block himself, but his right-hand man, Brian Scotto. I bought it from him. How much went into the swear jar when that happened? I didn't swear. Dude, you know what's weird? I have a lot of experience of driving cars that are wrecked from like GTA and playing Beam and stuff. So the wheel came off the truck and I actually just drove it right to a stop. I knew not to step on the brakes because if you step on the brakes, it's gonna fishtail. So I downshifted, I rev matched because I thought we blew a tire. Turns out the studs failed on the back left wheel. And I just let it coast into the breakdown lane, dude. Yeah. I just downshifted, rev match, downshifted, rev match, drove right off the road. Did it right on stream. And then when I stopped on the side of the road, the tire was rolling down the highway. Scary, man. That was a dumb thing to do. So if you go to Hoonigan's channel, Scumbag Labs, they did a show a little while back called Scumbag Labs dude, this was a long time ago at this point. 7 years ago. And episode 2 of Scumbag Labs, they gave a truck plywood wheels and started doing burnouts with plywood wheels. See that truck? I own that truck. This exact thing. My buddy Hurt right there, who's the one screaming frantically, is he's the one that got me in touch because he streams on Twitch. He's a good buddy of mine. I haven't talked to him in a little while. I should probably send him a message. But yeah, see how the drive shaft's red and the hub is red? I haven't painted them. They still look like that. I don't have wooden tires though. And I put a bed back on the truck. And I cut that stupid exhaust off. Yeah, Nader, it was, yeah. Yeah, Rob, I own that exact truck. That same VIN, same everything. That exact truck, dude. I was driving it around this weekend. Also, wood burnouts are pretty ridiculous. Yep. So I went out there with one of my mods, Ernok, and Skiri, the guy that we were talking about that's the race car driver. The IMSA race car driver. Me, Ernok, and Skiri, and Brimo, my wife, built that in Hoonigan. We put the truck back together and got it ready for a road trip in Hoonigan's parking lot. Yeah. Then we drove it home. The only thing that went wrong was something with the rear axle, and I'm guessing it probably had something to do with that, with that's probably not good for it. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and guess that probably did something to the rear end that was not great for this vehicle, and that's probably why the hub failed completely. Yeah, you know, yeah, I own that truck. It's a mint vehicle, dude. It has no rust on it. It's just a little bit dinged up because it has 175,000 miles on it, but we built that thing in the parking lot, dude, and I basically, when I drove it back, we drove it back here in October of 2021. It made it all the way back to New England, and as we drove across the country, I mean, the wheel fell off and stuff. We slowly rebuilt it over time. We stopped in Detroit when me and Bree's dad went and perused the junkyards. We rebuilt the rear hub, got a new drum brake backing plate because it was destroyed, rebuilt the drums in the back, new brake lines in the back, and then we drove it all the way home, dude. The engine, transmission, nothing else ever gave me any problems, ever. And it still doesn't, which is crazy. All I've done with that truck is just make the interior a little bit nicer. I put an XLT interior in it, or XLT interior parts that I found from a junk truck here in New England, and that's it. And then I removed all the spray paint. They spray painted the snot out of the thing. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's right. I did replace the fuel pump and the fuel filter, which is probably something that I should have done when we left, but it's okay. Grav, ignore your DM. Okay. I'm gonna look at it. Cool. Oh, I hope so. That'd be sick, man. The roof still has the Hoonigan H on it and some tags from the people that worked there at the time. Yep. I didn't paint the roof. Never painted the roof. But most of the spray paint is off, guys. Only the front right quarter panel and the door, the passenger side door, have the original spray paint on it. That's it. Everything else from one side, the truck looks really nice because I cut it and buffed the paint a long time ago. It looks really good, but from the other side, it doesn't look very good. And we called it Tough Enough. Yep, that's right. All right, get rid of this thruster block down here. Because that truck was tough enough to take a beating and then drive across a continent, and it didn't really give me any problems. Okay. You know, do we want to put the raceway? You know what? Let's put the raceway on the bottom of the vehicle. Not that, once again, not that it really matters, but and you know what? I think it's about high time that if we're going to use MLV more, that we give it a freaking name. Its project name was Project Ares, but I don't want to call this Ares because then people will be like, it's Ares. That's not an SRB first stage, you know? So with Rook, how do you see him working out the mess that is Starliner? Chris, dude, honestly, right now, I think the best thing for the Starliner program to do is just follow through with the program. It's funny to make memes and, you know, say, oh, Starliner is terrible, ha 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 ha. If I was Rook, I would be very scrupulous with them, and I would basically push them to fulfill their contractual needs. That's what I would do. How would you start untangling it? honestly make sure that the next flight, the cargo mission, goes off without a hitch, and I would make sure that the analytic, like basically you got to get in there and to an extent run the Starliner program like the Dragon program. Human spaceflight is something you do not dick around with. Do not. That's just something that I've learned from mentors in the industry that help me understand spaceflight. To teach it better, don't screw around. No horsing around, no hot dogging, no bull crap. If it's not right, make it right. And if you screw it up, you're gonna regret it. Like, that's how would you fix Starliner? I would actually push them to fulfill their goals. I would want Starliner. So NASA and Starliner have agreed to 4 flights to the ISS here. NASA and Boeing, they've agreed to 4 flights to the ISS, and then more basically on an on-need basis from there. So I would make sure that those flights happen 100% successfully. And, you know, if they can get everything fixed and working correctly, then, you know, maybe we can get a little bit crazier with doing more Starliner missions. Maybe you could open up Starliner as a low Earth orbit destinations vehicle. That would be fantastic for it. You know what? I was going to do some overlap here, but I think it'd be better to just overlap every single one of these just the same. Just to lessen the part count any more than it already is. Yeah, I would be... with the commercial crew program, what I would really be looking for is to... If I was Rook, this is... And keep in mind, this isn't exactly what I would be doing, but this is what I think Rook should do. I'd be really leaning into commercial services for Gateway to supplement the Orion program. Even after all this, and I know SpaceX is super successful, Starliner is going to take a little bit of a kick in the pants, and then, you know, we'll have multiple ways to get up into space, etc. I would be really leaning into commercial space stations and also Gateway logistics. SpaceX is probably not going to do it with Dragon, but, you know, even offering Starliner as a cargo resupply vehicle to Gateway, for instance, is not a bad idea. You know, you put a Starliner on Vulcan, right, or whatever, right, and have it work as an uncrewed vehicle. It basically work as the progress capsule of Gateway. Not a bad solution. Really, it's not a bad idea. That's really where I would want them to be, pivoting to. Starliner for commercial crew, basically post ISS applications for Starliner. That's really what I'd be looking for. And, you know, if they do it, they do it. If they don't, well, they don't. Good. Fortunately for us, that actually fit. This actually fits perfect. If it was up to me, I would be really leaning into SLS at this point for Jared, at least in the interim amount of time, which is what I think he's basically going to do. Starliner on Newlands. So Nader, if it was me and I really wanted to do like the commercial procurement stuff that Rook is talking about, I would want to diversify my portfolio, so to speak. So i.e., you have Falcon 9 and Dragon, right? You have Starliner and Atlas, which is just fine. I would look to diversify my human-rated capabilities to get into space. So I wouldn't necessarily push for Starliner to be on like New Glenn or something. I would want Vulcan. See if you can persuade Tori Bruno with some cash to make Vulcan human-rated and go from there. Okay, there's the new raceway. I don't know, maybe should we change the color? The white raceway looks weird to me. Let's change it to gray, see how that looks. Yeah, I actually like that. The contrast to the orange looks a lot cooler. Hey, Kraken, what's up, dude? The president signed an order today on space superiority from the White House. What does that mean? Apparently it's for weapons in space. You know, part of the reason why Eisenhower insisted on making NASA, when he founded it, a civilian space exploration agency for soft power projection is because he was worried about an arms race in space. Fellas, creating an arms race in space basically creates an arm race with an endless where does it end? It doesn't, because space is gigantic. You want to try to protect the ultimate high ground? Yeah, Eisenhower looked at that and said that's not a good idea. Let's peacefully explore space and use it for soft power projection instead of trying to spend bajillions to make it hard power projection, i.e. a military in space. That's also part of the reason Soviet Union saw that, and that's also part of the reason why they signed the Outer Space Treaty with the US in 1967 for the peaceful exploration of space, because neither country wanted to get into an endless, bottomless pit of an arms race in space. Space has tremendous potential to unlock untold wealth in and around the solar system, and maybe even beyond someday. But one thing that Eisenhower was smart enough to do is make sure that the military-industrial complex was not involved in that, at least directly. And that turned out to be a very fruitful decision. Wouldn't a boarding Starliner from Vulcan need a new abort ring, since the abort engines would blow the exhaust back up to the engine, since the second stage is the exact same diameter? You'd need a hot staging ring for it, RJ. Starliner already has a hot staging ring, dude, for that exact purpose. It's just covered by the aero skirt. Is Blue doing a capsule, though? I'm not sure. Ensuring American space superiority. Superiority in space is the measure of national vision and willpower, and the technologies Americans develop to achieve it contribute substantially to the nation's strength, security, and prosperity. The United States must therefore pursue a space policy that will extend the reach of human discovery, secure the nation's vital economic security and interests, and unleash commercial development and lay the foundation for a new space age. Okay, my administration will focus its space policy on achieving the following priorities: leading the world in space exploration and expanding human reach and American presence in space by returning Americans to the moon by 2028 through the Artemis program to assert American leadership in space, lay the foundations for lunar economic development, prepare for a journey from Mars, and inspire the next generation of explorers. That's Rook. Isaacman told him to say that. Isaacman has been saying that almost verbatim for the past year. Establishing initial elements of a permanent lunar outpost by 2030 to ensure a sustained American presence in space and enable the next steps in Mars exploration. And, Part 3, enhancing sustainability and cost-effectiveness of launch and exploration architectures, including enabling commercial launch services and prioritizing lunar exploration. B. Securing and defending American vital and national and economic security interests from in and around space by developing and demonstrating prototype next generation missile defense technologies. Okay, Golden Dome. All right. Ensuring the ability to detect, characterize, and counter threats to the United States space interests from very low Earth orbit through cislunar space, including any placement of... Oh, okay. Ensuring the ability to detect, characterize, and counter threats, including placement of if anybody else puts a nuke in space. Okay. Creating a response and adaptive national security space architecture by accelerating acquisition reform, integrating commercial space capabilities, and enabling new market entrants. Strengthening ally and partner contributions to the United States in collective space security, including through increased space security spending, operational cooperation, basing agreements, and ally and partner investments in America's space industrial base. Did you color coordinate your shirt with the rocket on purpose? No, just accident. Growing a vibrant commercial space economy, fostering economic growth, attracting at least $50 billion of additional investments in American space by 2028, and increasing the launch and re-entry cadence through new and upgraded facilities, improved efficiency and policy reforms. Demonstrating spectrum leadership across space applications to promote United States technology competitiveness, spectrum management efficiency, and global market access, and spurring private sector initiative and commercial pathway to replace the International Space Station by 2030. Okay. And developing and deploying advanced capabilities and approaches to enable the next century of space achievements by optimizing space research and development investments to achieve the administration's near-term space objectives. That's the aforementioned stuff up there. Using emerging technologies and scientific discoveries to advance mission capabilities and enable scientific discovery for America's long-term science and technology leadership. Enabling near-term utilization of space nuclear power by deploying nuclear reactors on the moon and in orbit, including lunar surface reactors ready by 2030. Well, Apex, some of these... Hang on, hold up real quick. I zapped you real quick because we're not trying to start any crap here. I'm just reading, okay? There's some of this stuff that I don't like, and there's some of this stuff that I do. Improving high-value space and Earth weather forecasting and operations to meet needs on Earth and beyond, utilizing improved business approaches such as firm fixed-price contracts and as-a-service models for both space and ground-based segments. Enabling the sustainability of space operations through effective and responsible approaches to space traffic management, orbital debris mitigation and remediation, terrestrial and cislunar positioning, navigation, and timing, including by establishing the United States as the standards and services leader in these areas in ground, air, and space. Okay. I'm gonna need a space. We're gonna need to do a space news a little bit later in the day after we get at least 1 or 2 missions done in KSP. I gotta go through that. I saw some stuff that I do like. Saw some stuff that's kind of because the truth is, guys, is that are other countries sending potential military stuff into space? Yes. Is that violating the Outer Space Treaty? Absolutely. What do we do about this? I don't know. You've got to be careful about getting into an arms race in space. An arms race in space, like I said, is a near endless pit of government spending. I don't think that's a good idea. This is why Eisenhower founded NASA. This is the exact reason. To make sure that peaceful exploration of space happens, because a military-industrial conflict in space would end very poorly. Very poorly. You hear Red's under the bed. Yeah. I don't know, dudes. That's, I do like the parts about the ISS and stuff, like, ISS decommissioning, and he did say to make sure that there's a commercial replacement, which will prevent a stopgap, which I do very much appreciate. That's really good that that's not codified, but that's a priority. I do appreciate that. But yeah, we're gonna have to do a space news today, and we're gonna have to go through it, man. All good. This part is scary for NASA. Damn, Baron. Wow. Hey. Look, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like NASA doesn't need to be cleaned up. There's a lot of caca in there that needs to be fixed. And that means making an omelet, you know? But whenever you make an omelet, you gotta break some eggs sometimes, which it's the way she goes, man. I don't like it. Especially, yeah. But I don't know. We'll see how it all transpires. Okay, so the raceway's done. The thrusters are in the right positions. The booster purging system is in the right positions here. I know it's just for show, but wouldn't this rocket have 2 raceways? 2? Why? The raceway design I originally envisioned is from Vulcan, to be honest. It's from a Vulcan core stage. I decided to, when we made MLV, RJ, I kit bashed it on purpose. I just took bits and pieces from rockets that I thought looked cool and made a rocket that's more or less a Falcon 9-esque, like, equivalent. I don't know, you're looking at Delta. Delta? Delta has 2 because of the, okay, that's, I mean, keep in mind, that's like discount Legos or something. One of them is the raceway and the other one is the liquid oxygen downcomer. Because Delta, for simplicity of manufacture, went with an intertank design. So you have an external downcomer to deal with the delta temperature between liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen. How similar are these Chinese copies to Falcon 9? Not. They're not. Architecturally, yeah, that ZQ-3 rocket is, it looks like they only stole some of the plans. They were only able to get bits and pieces of things about Falcon 9, and then kind of they filled in the blanks with what they thought was right, and yeah, didn't land. We should DMCA them. Yeah, so RJ, one of them is the downcomer. With this style of rocket, I intended for an internal downcomer. So this rocket... MLV is like if you had a New Glenn-sized Falcon 9. That's really the right way to say it. Well, they're going to take this VOD now as well. They can't. I'm not talking about China, Cirrus. I'm talking about West Taiwan. Differences. Jerry, the Chinese Communist Party claimed one of my YouTube VODs and demonetized it. They manually did it. They demonetized a Space News vid, and I lost a lot of money because of it. Not even making that up. I'll show you the takedown notice. It's ridiculous. Yeah, yeah. Now you care about intellectual property? All right. I don't like doing Rule 8 stuff, dude. You know that's not my style, but that's bull crap, dude. That's bull crap, and you know it. Yeah, it wasn't the party, but it was the state television network, so CCTV. Yeah, I got claimed by CCTV state television. Nice. So, I'm not going to play that game. You know, it's very funny to me that they don't believe in intellectual property, you know, with us, but it's only when it applies to them. They can get bent, dude. And yeah, I'm not trying to make this about this or that, but yeah, some context for the situation. Let's get back to work. Oh, by the way, here, let me just make my flag a little bit bigger there. Excuse me. Nice. I think I want to know how they justified it. I showed this the ZQ3 rocket. They released promo footage and posted it all over social media. And yeah, they claimed it. Yeah, it was a manual claim too, Aitor. I know it was a manual claim because the VOD was up for a week. It was up for a week with full monetization. And then just randomly last Thursday, a week ago, I just got a pop-up on my phone, and I'm like, I thought it was, I was like, there's no way that's the official thing. There's no freaking way. That's got to be just somebody trying to claim it. Nope. Nope. Did you appeal the claim? You're damn freaking right I did. Yeah, so, Jerry, I apologize if I'm getting a little, if it's too much, just let me know. I'm just not happy with them because, like, look, we can say whatever we want. The YouTube claim system is ridiculous, but the reason why people think YouTube's claim system is ridiculous is because the ad revenue and the payment that you get from it is some of the best in the business. Guys, it's not an insignificant amount of extra cash from just restreaming on YouTube. It's pretty crazy. Like, I thought that I got paid wrong when I first started streaming on YouTube and, like, the stream got popular for Space Newses and stuff. I thought I was like, there's no way. That's got to be like a perk or a bonus or whatever. No. The ad revenue is pretty damn good. For streaming, at least. I can't speak to videos. I shouldn't have brought it up. No, it's all good. You were completely not out of line asking, you know? To be honest, I wondered if you make the same here if you ran more ads. Most likely. Alright, let me center the American flag on the inner stage so it looks good. Alright, we're completing final touches here. Actually, I don't want it screwing with the fins, so I don't want the fins clipping into it. So we'll, especially they'll go sisu on you. Let's just do that. Right there. That's more or less centered. They really aren't, Cold Tech. Even if I was peppering you guys with ads like once every hour, it's not. Dude, the Twitch ad rev pays nothing compared to YouTube, dude. Okay, guys, I'm not gonna mention numbers because that isn't my style. Okay, so like a Space News segment, I get about 100 viewers and change on YouTube. That 100 viewer, the ad rev from that 100 viewer Space News makes as much as a 600 viewer ad rev on the Twitch side of things. Just a little bit of perspective there. That's the difference. That's why people don't like the claim system on YouTube, and that's what nobody mentions. He mentions that if you get claimed, that's a significant part of your revenue down the tubes. That's why people don't like it. Yeah. I'd say 5 to 6 times the ad revenue for a stream, for a 100 viewer stream, as opposed to like a 600 viewer Twitch stream. That's about right. And that's why, yeah, Jerry, that's why I'm not taking no crap, dude, because, yeah, that's a huge chunk of change down the drain. If somebody, they didn't even claim it, they demonetized it. They claimed demonetization. They didn't claim ad revenue. They claimed demonetization, which does nothing but screw me. All right? Yeah, sure, Zeros. Yeah, Dan, YouTube ad rev is pretty good, man. Keep in mind, it's also VOD views and stuff. The ad rev is for the VODs, the people that come back and watch Space News and Kerbal. Hi, VOD viewers. How you doing? Hope you're having a good day, because I'm not. Yeah, Duke, they, I showed footage of a Chinese rocket launch that they released, and yeah, they demonetized me, yeah. That's funny. Yeah, Way Crush, it's alright. It is what it is, dudes. Yeah, it's just... At this point, guys, I'm just... Every day, I just mentally prepare for bad news. That's probably not healthy, but... Whatever. Okay. The last thing that I really wanted to mess with here, I do believe we fixed the cut down fairing problem. Yeah, you always want a little bit of clip here because we're using docking ports to hold the stage together. We downgraded the stage batteries to be more realistic with an upper stage. I have my monopropellant maneuvering systems for the upper stage here. I think I would like MLV to move to a bigger fairing. I'm going to redesign the fairing here, and we will redesign it to be a, I think we're going to go for a 5 meter, and then probably double the size of the fairing. From what I've seen with MLV, it should be able to do it. I always watch your VOD on YouTube because I can't stay up long because of work. I watch now for 2 more hours, and the rest on the next day. Thanks, Thomas. Expect the worst, hope for the best. Yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. All right, so I would like, this is a 375 meter fairing. I would like to upgrade it to a 5 meter fairing. And if these are, yeah, these should be okay missions. And worst case scenario, I can always get the first stage back. The second stage and fairing are not really worth a lot of cash. Yeah, thanks, Snarfer. Also, memberships are a steady, reliable revenue stream like Patreon. Yeah, there you go, man. But yeah, I mean, yeah, dude, you were gifting memberships. I didn't forget about that, Snarfer. You gift memberships pretty routinely, and I do appreciate it, man. Yeah, the Membies cut is about the same as subscribers on Twitch, which is great. Yeah, just the YouTube stream is still relatively in its infancy compared to the Twitch stream. I've been streaming on Twitch since 2012, so that's 13 years. The YouTube, I started 2024.
Listen, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
What do you call a herd of sheep falling down a hill? A landslide.
I'm gonna make my fairings now. Do we have any 5 meter parts at all? I don't think we do. All right, so we're gonna have to measure 5 meter. So that means Okay. Let's go open this fairing up here. Let's make some rulers. I'm going to make a Tessa ruler, and we can use this to measure. So, fun trick here. You can use these to... You can use these to make rulers. If you absolute snap everything into place, you can create a really straight edge. One of my moderators, Quintessa in chat, came up with this idea. So you get a perfectly straight edge for building fairings, right? And you don't have to worry about the fairing clipping into it because the strut is inclinable. The straight part of the strut is inclinable. You can also use these for measuring, which is what I'm going to do. Let's go to absolute, right? And let's move this to the center line of the vehicle. So if we want a 5-meter fairing, for instance, all right, let's just extend that out there. We want a 5-meter fairing. I want to make a bigger fairing for this vehicle. Here's what we do. So if you're on absolute snap, once again, and you select this cubic octagonal strut and make sure you have snap on, you'll move in increments. See, 1, 2. That is a 10 centimeter movement. So if I move this up from the center line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 1 meter radius off the center line of the vehicle. Okay, so that would be 2 meters. Right? Now we do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now we are 2 meters off the center line, which means that would be the diameter for a 4-meter fairing. That is right in line with this one, which is the 3.75 meter fairing. Now we want to move to a full 5-meter fairing, which means we need a 2.5 meter radius, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Boom. Done. That is the radii that I'm going to need for a 5-meter fairing. Now we measure the length. How long do we want our 5-meter fairing to be? Copy the ruler. Place the strut. Absolute snap these together. And then absolute snap that. And that. And this should already be there, but to be absolutely sure. Now we have another straight edge, right? If we put this at the base plate of the fairing, right, we can obviously, okay, so that's where the fairing starts. So how long do we want our fairing to be? I don't know. What type of payload are we putting in here? That really depends. So let's save this and just quickly, very quickly, load up the resupply vehicle. And a refueling tug. Let's design our new fairing around this vehicle to give it a little bit of ample space, right? What's this vehicle's length? This vehicle's length, it says it's 15 meters. Or no, 9.1. Sorry, 15 meters is the constriction for the SPH. I didn't read that right. Length is 9 meters. Okay. That's probably including the fairing interstage plates. So what I'll do is I'll take an I-beam here. Fun fact, these I-beams are 3 meters long. Right? So if we put one up at the very front of the vehicle, match it relatively to the front. So that's 3 meters, 6 meters. Okay, and then we want our fairing to have a little bit of ample space. Maybe we need slightly bigger vehicle. Let's make it a 9-meter fairing. With the cylindric section of the fairing being 5 meters, 5 meter wide, 6 meter long, and then the point of the fairing will be 3 meter for the most part. That should be good enough. No freedom units. Kerbал's all in metric tenth. I can back convert this if you guys really want. So if the fairing is 5 meters wide, that is more or less about an 18-foot. Yeah, 18 feet, almost 20 feet wide. it's close. It's like 18 or 19 feet with a 5 meter wide fairing. And then if we want to make the fairing 9 meters long, that's about 30 feet. So 15 by 30. Well, 18 by 30, give or take. So, from our base point here, we want to measure 9 meters. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay, so that's 3 meters off. Now I'm going to take another one of these rulers here. Right, place it downwards. All right, make sure it's aligned. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Cool. Now what we can do is just copy this, right? It'll place 2 more sets of struts. And even though there's 2 that clip into each other, that should get you your... Can we use I-beams to verify? Sure. So the I-beams are 3 meter, but they got to clip. You got to clip them into each other because it's measuring the collider yard. So that one is clipped pretty well. So you got to clip them over to get that right. Yeah, I thought that looked a little strange. I think I missed 1 or 2. You gotta, once again, clip them in. So, cool. Sweet. So that gives us the proportions for our fairing. So, this is the upgraded stack prototype. Let's go here like this, edit the fairing, and promptly build a new one. So, the back side of this will have the cup piece right here. And then what you do, fellas, is you line this up to the bottom edge of the strut. We can just, if you hit C, you can kind of freehand fairing, and there you go. Ooh, hold on 1 second. Sometimes the fairings introduce some weird splines. So we will make 1 segment of this bad boy go to here. Make the next segment go to there. Not that this part matters, but sometimes it pays to be precise. And then yeah, that's a little bulbous. I don't like that. That's not gonna work. The shape of the fairing absolutely makes a difference, dudes. The more jagged lines you have, or the more of a blunt shape, the more it's going to aerodynamically affect it. So we will edit this, and I'm going to freehand a nose cone here. No, sir. I don't like it. It needs to be a little bit pointier. How are we supposed to instill fear into our enemies? It's not pointy enough. Hey, where'd the music go? Why'd you stop playing that beautiful music? That is one big old fairing. That's what she said. Yeah, Germa. Mm-hmm. It's the back. The back looks weird. All right, so let me try it again. See, I'm no harm, no foul rapidly prototyping this, guys, because we have the lines. We have our proportional lines, so you can see the different proportions on the segment, which is very nice. So with that type of point fairing that we're going for, we'll build the fairing out and we'll give it a lot lesser of an edge here. Yeah, see? By making this edge at the back a little less steep, that changes the fairing shape. That makes that look a lot more fairing-esque. I wanted to do GTA Online after Flame Trench, all systems, on Friday. So tomorrow? Can you join with a brand spanking new account? I mean, you can, yeah, but you won't have any really fast cars. Yarg, what do you think? That looks pretty proportional to me. That looks right. That looks like the right shape. Yeah, maybe tweak the front, make it a little bit more pointy. How are we supposed to instill fear into our enemies? I know what's making this thing look weird at this point. It's that edge. That holding edge makes it not look right. You need to go the full width for another meter or two. Okay. Dude, that is a freaking monster of a fairing. Look at here. Look at a Rocco Max 64 in this thing. Oh, yeah, baby. Plenty of space. I made it so it could fit the transfer vehicle, the transfer and resupply vehicle in it, nuclear, and then some. That is my driving goal. You know what? Let me just tweak that edge just a little teeny weeny bit. Like there. No. Yeah. See, it's interesting. Fairing shapes are actually super interesting in real life, guys, because believe it or not, at the very front of the fairing, you want it to be a relatively blunt surface. And then after that relatively blunt surface at the front, you want it to be pretty aerodynamic. You want it to be pretty pointy. So it needs to be like blunt at the front, pointy behind that, cylindric behind that, and then blunt again. The reason why is because of how air moves over these things at different speeds. You're dealing with an aerodynamic component that has a huge amount of transient, transient conditions. So meaning you're flying from nothing, you're going from nothing to subsonic speeds, to transonic speeds, to supersonic speeds, to hypersonic speeds. Right? You know what, Yorga? That doesn't look right either. Something's wrong with this. Something is strange about that shape. So the front of the fairing actually needs to be kind of blunt. Now, the reason why, dudes, here, let me show you. The reason why is like, okay, so you have your fairing like this, and then it goes to a point, and then the top is kind of like that, right? This is, keep in mind, this is not exactly the right idea, but please excuse the crudity of this drawing. I didn't have time to build it to scale or to paint it. Right, so the reason why you'd want a blunt edge is so you can get aerodynamic compression on the front of the vehicle. Now, why? Why do you want that? If you make compression right here in this area, right, what's going to happen is oncoming gases are going to shoot out and around. It's going to create a little bit of a pocket right there, so to speak. That's not the right terminology. Just bear with me. We'll use blue for oncoming air, right? It's going to compress all the air on the blunt edge of the fairing. And then the incoming air will try to go around that compression, right? It'll try to go around. And that'll bump the other parts, the other, like more bits of air to go around it, like that, right? If you had a super pointy fairing, the air would do this, right? All your air would compress right at the point, and you'd make your air would shoot out at in different directions like this. You would get a different, what's called theta angle of a shock, if you really want to know. Like that I'm pretty sure those are the right terms. You'd get a different angle. And long story short, guys, see how there's an angular difference in the air when it gets into this? The smoother that transition is, the less likely you're going to get what's called flow separation. Flow separation is where the air separates from an aerodynamic surface. So you're going to get a little bit of flow separation here, but it's not going to be a lot. And that's why the back of the fairing needs to be blunt so the air can smoothly transition. Now, there is going to be a pocket of low pressure right here, but it's not going to be much. Most of that air gets sucked away, right? But you need to, making this kind of ball of compression up at the front of the vehicle is going to make it so the air can smoothly transition over the fairing. Like that. You get a nice smooth movement, Because like I said, if this was pointy, right? If it was pointy like that, the air would do this. I know it sounds stupid, but the air would do that, and you'd create tons of low pressure. You'd create tons of drag over here. And then as you got faster and faster to hypersonic speeds, then the air would do this. And what that also does is concentrate an insane amount of energy, of heat energy right here, in the form of ionization that happens from aerodynamic compression, from basically shock heating, right? And then because your shocks are so damn close at higher speed, you warm up the sides of the fairing. Compression heating will cook the fairing on the way up. Does Kerbal take this into account? No. Kerbal takes into account shape. Yeah, Kerbal does not do that, but I make the fairings realistically like that on purpose. With Kerbal, just make it look like it can fly through the air correctly. I haven't really gone into deep dive into how the fairings tick in KSP, but yeah, in Kerbal, not so much, but yeah. Missile is too round, it needs to be pointy. Here, let's look at Falcon 9 fairing. Look at Falcon 9's fairings. Like here, there's a comparison here. Who made this graphic? Hold on. This is on Reddit. So I made a graphic comparing America's fairings, great for understanding the scale of Vulcan's fairing. This is by Do You Wanda on the ULA forums. So look at every single one of those fairings. Falcon 9, Falcon Heavy, even Starship. Starship is, the front of Starship is a fairing, so to speak. Payload bay would be better. New Glenn, look at how blunt New Glenn's nose is. Look at Vulcan, see? Every single one of those does that. Even older versions of Atlas, so Atlas 5401 used to use the 400 series fairing, which is an aluminum fairing. Look at the top of the fairing. Same thing, a point. Fun fact, those aluminum fairings were made in Harlingen, Texas. They were made down the street from Brownsville, where Starship is. See? Basically it's a trade-off. If you let it make a little bit of drag up at the top of the vehicle, overall, this thing will slip through the atmosphere a lot better at higher speeds. Yep. Fun fact, you don't even need a fairing to do this technically. Check this out. Let's take a look at a Trident missile. This is a submarine-launched ballistic missile, an SLBM. Look. Yeah, I'm not showing that link. See the nail up at the front? Look. So it's not just a nail. Take a look at this picture. What do you see? Why did they attach a dinner plate to the front of the missile? Same exact reason. Does anybody know why it's on a little telescoping antenna that pops out of the missile after it launches? That's not an antenna, fellas. It ain't the antenna. The antenna might be integrated into it, but it's not it. So it'll fit in a sub. That's right. That right there is doing the exact same thing as a pointed nose cone fairing. It's doing the same thing. Weird, huh? Hey, Angel Scott, how are you? See the dinner plate? The dinner plate is designed to create a little bit of compression up at the top so the air slips around this thing. Because they couldn't give it a nose cone because it has to fit in a submarine. Aerodynamics, dude. A little bit on aerodynamic fairings. It's actually super interesting stuff. Yeah, see? You got a little dinner plate up at the top. What's the efficiency of the dinner plate versus a nose cone? Like, would a dinner plate even make sense for a rocket like Falcon? No. The only reason why they did that, Yarg, is because they couldn't give it a nose cone. Because it had to fit into the submarine missile silos. That's the only reason. Yeah, I believe a Trident D5 is what that with the dinner plate on the top, Victory. Yeah, it's a Trident D5. You're definitely losing some efficiency with the flat surface, of course, Bucks. But it's a trade-off. A blunt nose is not going to slip through the air as well, but it helps with heat distribution. I mean, well, no, it will make it slip through the air, but it does cause a little bit of drag. But it's drag induced at a certain point. That was a Trident missile, yes, Isabel. The dinner plate. Yep, so, like I said, fairings are blunt at the front. Is that bad for it aerodynamically? Yes. Does it create drag, increasing your center of pressure? Yes, sure. But for the amount of drag that makes up at the top of the fairing, it allows the air to slip over it pretty dang well. It mitigates it. Because you would have, like I said, at higher speeds, a super pointy fairing would really give you some problems. You'd have to worry about concentration of heat in one area right at the point. It would basically melt it. And two, it wouldn't slip through the air as well, believe it or not, at higher speeds. Yeah, weird, right? Sent Jeb to the moon and he ran out of fuel and got stuck there. Now Valentina's stuck there too. Plan your mission better next time then, dude. Jeez. Can understand stranding Jeb, but Val too? Yeah, I said I'm not looking at your link. I don't like it. But it is useful if other people want to click on it. All right, cool. So now that we got our markers and everything, and we got the fairing looking right, let's get rid of it. We got a nice little rocket here. Sorry for the completely unrelated question. What's up, Dennis? 1969 Camaro, Nova, or Chevelle, in your opinion? If you are focused, I will post a question when you're on an automotive subject. What's your question? If I had to pick between a 69 Camaro, Nova, or Chevelle? The bowl would work, Yarg, sure. They used the dinner plate because, yeah, they couldn't fit the bowl, to be honest with you. So they made a small dinner plate, and that's simple. That was the trade-off there, simplicity. If I had to pick, Dennis, I'd take the Chevelle. Yeah, a 69 Chevelle SS 396 with a Muncie 4-speed and 12-bolt rear end. Then you're gonna go see a movie. Good luck with the build. All right, cool. NASA tweet.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Hey, Dennis. All right. Hey, thanks, man. Thank you for the 2-month resub. Appreciate you, man. Now, that doesn't necessarily matter too much in KSP. In KSP, you just make the fairing look right. But What I found with the fairings is that edge transition. So like the angle between the edges, as long as you make this angle like not too crazy. So like if the fairing went in like that and then went forward, the game would understand that there's a crappy edge there. As long as you make it kind of smooth looking and not like super pointy, it'll fly better. Yep, there you go. That's perfect, Oculus. Yeah. Look, see how Yark, see what the dinner plate does? Look, it's the shape of a fairing. That's weird, but cool, right? Seriously, look at how the shock comes off of the dinner plate and how that looks exactly like the shape of a fairing. You can fool aerodynamics into doing that in real life. It's actually super neat. I saw Cosmic Hippo, you talked about Formula One cars. What do you think the front wing element does? The front wing on a Formula One car is designed to channel air up and over the tire to make it seem like there's a fairing over the tire. Because the most ideal thing would be to not have your tire coming into laminar flow, like coming into oncoming air, because a tire is not very aerodynamic. It's a freaking circle, right? That's, you know, you could get air forced under it. You could get air forced over it. So that front wing is, it's there for downforce, but it's also there to push air up and over. And here's an even crazier thing. Here, let's look. If you look at a modern F1 car, not only is it designed to do that, designed to shoot air up and over the tires, what it's designed to do, here, this is a Sky Sports picture, but sure. Unsupported location, bite me, Sky Sports. How about that? Look, the air is designed to shoot, or the front wing element is designed to shoot air. See how it's angled right here? It's designed to go up and over the tire. These parts of the wing element are there for, the red part is there and the black part is there for downforce, but then you have these two other wing elements behind it. Note that they're angled a little bit up at the very back. What that's designed to do is shoot air up into these. What are those? Those are aerodynamic fairings that are around the control, the control arms for the suspension. These are covering up the pieces. Notice how, Cosmic, like you said, the camera pod and everything is shaped like a wing. So are the strut fairings here, right? Those shoot the air up into these, right? And these things don't create as much drag, but if you look at the front, it's all blunt surfaces. See? Blunt surface on purpose. These things are designed to shoot the air into the radiator pod. Look. So the air from a Formula One car is going to get picked up by the front wing, right? It's going to get shot up here at high speed into this mess, and this mess is going to funnel it right into the radiator housing to keep it cool. That's why aerodynamics and dirty air matter so much in Formula One. If you get turbulent air going into this, it's not going to work correctly. Think jet wash, like in Top Gun. Like in the first Top Gun, you flew through another plane's exhaust and it caused the induced flat spin. That's no good. Dirty air is really bad for an F1 car because you won't be able to cool correctly. If you're getting turbulent airflow over this, you're going to overheat your tires because then you're relying too much on mechanical grip and less on the air to actually push the tire into the ground. Not a cat, 59-month resub and kicked me with a 55er. Thank you. Well, if you're Lance Stroll, it's a weapon. Yeah, but don't tell Daddy Stroll that, man. Actually, the wishbone fairings are downwashing. They're shooting air into this element and into the radiator. It's both of them. Now that I'm looking at it, but yeah, see? That one, look at the angle on the steering rod right there, the steering rod strut. See where the airfoil tail points is right at the freaking radiator. We got checking over, Roger. And then some of it is pushed over this, Max, what the hell is this thing called? The barge board. That's what it is. Sorry, it took me a second. Box. We are going, Charles, we are going with plan A question. We are going with a 6 pit stop strategy, Charles. Charles, why are you not talking to me? Lewis, yes, we are going. We need you to pit again. Why, mate? I just put tires on this car. Yeah, yes, we need you to pit again because we need to ask you what you're having for dinner tonight. And we want to make sure that you get your food. Mate, I'm racing right now. Yeah, yes, I know. But what did you have for dinner? Over? Ferrari's communications. Probably. All right, dudes. I think we're ready to send this thing. So what we're going to do is use this to dump the transfer vehicle up into space. Sorry, random, but I appreciate your streams. Whenever I need something familiar and safe to make me feel comfortable, I come here. Sorry for the deep. It's fine, Erudite. It's all good, man. I appreciate your company. Thanks for being here. How you doing? Right now, I'm kind of sad. Oh, I'm having a terrible day, New Glenn. Yeah, I'm having a terrible day. Listen to EJ Ferrari. You might learn how to build a good car. No comment. Yeah, long story short, guys, you can use aerodynamic elements like that to push the air around where you need it. It's really useful. You know who understands that really, really well? Adrian Newey. You know why? Because he's an aerospace engineer. Weird, right? Sorry to hear about your day. I hope it gets better. Yeah, it's probably not Clang Bang, but it's alright. We good. Speaking of dinner, you're having chicken quesadillas and they're almost done. Oh boy. Where's Newey these days? I have no freaking idea. He's the team principal of Aston. Oh yeah, he went for Daddy Stroll money. I think so. Yeah, Hellfish. I don't. Yeah. Thanks, Bree. I'll just box them up. I'll probably eat them later. I just want to sit here and play KSP and just bury my mind in things if you don't mind. Yeah, Newey is a genius, dude. He understands moving the air around the car to just squeeze a little bit more grip better than anyone in the business, dude. He's just disgustingly good at it. You know why I really respect Newey, Chris? He writes everything down, dude. Newey always has that damn notebook with him. And he writes down notes about aerodynamic elements in his damn notebook, dude. I like that. He draws it out in his notebook. That's super cool, man. Good stuff. All right, guys. Let's switch the craft file name to block 1. Maybe we should come up with a name for MLV here. I've been just calling it MLV. How about Ares 7? Ares 7, block 1. Because it's got 7 engines. In the original project name was Project Ares. Ares 7, block 1. That's fine. I'll take that. It's very strange. It's a strange name, but whatever. Yeah, Isabel, these are Falcon 9 landing legs. You'll see. Yeah, I'm liking the upgrades to this thing, dudes. Yeah, these are not the same landing legs that I was working on, Isabel, with Condor. These are way more beefy. They should work. The problem is that this vehicle carries a superbly high cost. The first stage is like 220 grand. It's like 95% of the cost of the vehicle. But that's okay. Hey, Chief. I'm doing all right. Lander refueling tug. Merge. Make sure the plate is designated route. This thing slid around last time. That's why I just want to add some additional struts to hold that damn thing together. But that thing sure does look purty inside of that new fairing. Hey, Greg. What's up, man? Happy holidays. You too, man. You too. All right, I think we're good to go. Let's get this thing up into Leo. Do you think we have hit the physics limits on aero performance on rockets, and now it's down to engine efficiency? Aerodynamics are fairly well understood. That doesn't mean that we couldn't do new things, you know? You know what? Switch back over real quick. I want to add something. Always puts the dang thing all the way up there. I do like all those flags, but that's not exactly what I'm doing. You know what? Maybe just do Aries. Now that's an American rocket, right, Pashto? Hell yeah. Something like that, Aqualux, yeah. All right, keep in mind that this is carrying the overclocked engines. The S is... Oh my goodness, okay. So this thing should pack a little bit more of a punch. How many tons to LKO can this thing move? This should have no problem doing over 20, Jim. The transfer vehicle is 21, if I'm remembering right. It could probably do 25. I would rate it at 20 though to be nice and safe. 20 tons is fine. Let's just make sure we have this bad boy staged correctly. Not that it really matters, because staging is done on action groups with it, but I'm gonna do it. Separation. Upper stage ignition, fairing separation. This is a bigger fairing, so I'm going to increase our SEP force to 500, and we'll go from there. All these changes are relatively low risk. All right, I think we're good, dudes. Let's fly. All right, this thing is just going into low Kerbin orbit. I'm aiming for about 100 by 100. That's the capsule is a little bit lower, but when we send Condor with the crew, we'll get them up there. The capsule's like 80 by 80, the stranded Kerbal. Get it to 80 by 80, and then we'll rendezvous with this thing. And then it'll push us out to Minmus. Now, my transfer vehicle does have the monopropellant tank on it. I'm just not going to have monopropellant on the thing. I just want the tank, and an engineer should be able to move this thing around. No problem. All right, let's hit it. Thing looks nice. Came out real good. Let me just equalize the sound. Just so I don't blow your eardrums out. Sometimes Kerbal likes to overdrive sound. There we go. All right. Guide systems is on. Okay, T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. And lift off. Lift off, Ares 7, Block 1. First flight of the revised Project Ares vehicle, taking to the skies, launching a transfer vehicle to repair satellites out at Minmus. Okay. Yep, the fairing is not skitching around, guidance is not bouncing around as much as it was before. We're good there. Pitch over was good. What's our TWR? 1.5. We're going to throttle back for max Q here. Just a little bit. You know, as a treat. Max Q. Vehicle supersonic. Throttling back up. We're out of the throttle bucket. Stand by for Miko. We have Miko confirmed. Stage separation. Upper stage ignition is good. Stand by for bearing sep. Bearing separation confirmed. All right, switching back to the first stage. We got good relight on 3 engines for the boost back burn. Okay, boost back burn is confirmed. Done. Reorienting the stage. Setting up our control surfaces. That one we will set up for pitch. Actually, we'll use that one for yaw. Center one for pitch. Third one for roll. Okay. Switching back over to the first stage. Are you able to fly less lofted trajectories without losing a stage? Yeah. That's a very nice looking upgoer you have there. Thank you. First stage is just coasting. Second stage is boosting down range past 1,500 meters a second here in a moment. There we go. Adding that a little bit more TWR to the first stage really made that nice. It smoothed out the whole boost back trajectory. Let's just see what it does for us during landing. Stand by for Seco. (100 by 79). We got a nominal orbit insertion on stage and payload there. Hey, Supersonic. Mission's going good. Should have enough yard. I'm coming down kind of over this, and these trajectories are a little bit tough to get exactly right because you don't have much time for aero braking. Stage is just a pleasure to fly though. Oh yeah, way easy to fly. Real nice, real nice, real nice. Very good. Okay. Oh yeah, we got this. deploy. Nice. Touchdown on the first stage, baby. Oh, those improvements made that real easy to fly. I just had to, my boost back burn, I misjudged it because we had higher TWR. If we went a little bit less on the boost back burn, I'd have this right there. I'd land it right back on the pad, baby. That was mint. Real good. Real good. Real good. Landing operators move to step 11.100. Proceed to recovery net. Yeah, I squeezed just, I put a slight overclock, 120% rated. We probably could do less. That was actually too much because I misjudged the boost back burn, but everything else was fine. I also misjudged the suicide burn. We can burn way closer to the ground now, which is great. Yeah, dude, MLV is a monster. I built this thing to decimate mission mode. Yeah, baby. You know what? I'm just going to leave that there. For now. It belongs in a museum. So do you. Better than Condor? MLV is supposed to be the successor to Condor, Hip. Yeah. Not just like full Condor, like build the pad for it. It's supposed to be the successor to it. It took everything that I learned from the Condor 9 program and built a purpose-built rocket centered around, you know, all the reuse that we attempted to do with Condor. Oh, wait. Ares 7 is its name now. It's a good vehicle. Any Jared news today? He got sworn in, dude. He didn't change. He just has the NASA administrator handle now, Aitor. Brooke will host an agency-wide town hall tomorrow. He sent out a note to the workforce. Will it be live streamed? Yeah, Sledge, we'll do it for a little bit for Space News in a little bit. Yeah, absolutely. I started reading it a little bit and then I saw that there was a lot to take in, so we're gonna have to look. No, it's not, but I can get you recordings of it. I don't read recordings so much per se, Baron, but details would probably be useful. Dude, look at that. All of that, and the second stage still has 600 Delta V. Oh, man. Doesn't mention anything. That's a shame. Hell yeah, dude. This thing's... Dude, MLV is a monster. I love this rocket. I'm so happy we get to put it to use. I really... Dude, the other thing is that, like, I was at the height of my Kerbal building game with this thing. Like... This thing is... What the hell's going on with the rates? Huh. Whatever. Stand by for payload deploy. We got a good payload deploy on time. Yeah, yeah, we gotta prioritize them, dude. But yeah, I'm just kind of concerned that my monopropellant is not working. Let's see if the smaller thrusters work. Oh, control point was backwards. All right, control from here. There we go. Okay, we will now deorbit the stage. Yeah. Did Concorde fail because of cost, design, or negative publicity? All of them. It was a combination of everything, dude. Okay. Disposal. Okay, stage disposal is on time. Switching back over to the transfer vehicle. Let's prime up the transfer vehicle service propulsion system. I call it the Swan. The reason why we call it the Swan is because Cygnus is swan in Greek, I believe. It's kind of like Cygnus. Stop looking at me, Swan. Let's do checkout on the rest of the thrusters. That block should already be enabled. Okay. Bring YPR into play. Yaw pitch and roll control thruster blocks are coming online here. I manually do these, guys, just because we only need to enable it once. This vehicle is designed to work with the capsule, and when the capsule docks to it, it uses this RCS for pivot and control. I have a toggle group set on my capsule to shut its RCS off and just use this, so we can save monopropellant for the capsule. Yaw pitch and roll control thrusters are working. Okay, SPS firing 1. $99 by 101. Let's re-rotate the vehicle into a good orientation here. Concorde failed because the French surrendered on us. On it. Yeah. They painted the plane white. What do you expect? Albatross, though, Audrey? I don't know. I kind of just like Ares. That was the project name for it. Now, if we bring online our translation and control thrusters here for up, down, left, right movement, bring those thruster blocks online here. Thruster blocks, excuse me. We can just iron out this orbit and get it to 100 perfect. Do that with a radial burn. How about Magnum? No. No, I'm good. I'm good, dude. I like Ares. Ares 7 is fine. You won't, nobody will get that confused. Okay, just do some quick attitude control. Adjustments here to the orbit. There you go. 100,071 by 100,067. I'm really happy I changed that by hitting the SAS with the RCS on. Cool. All right. Swan 2 is in... Swan resupply vehicle is in position. Cool. All right, next thing we got to do is put Kerbals up there on a Condor launch vehicle. Hey, Sad, what's going on?
Discovery,
Where's Joe
go
just
at
dropped a
throttle
new BPS video. Cool. Yeah, Committee 76-month resub and Charlie Rocks with 39-month resub. Thank you.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Chris, new road closure from Massey's to production just been announced for tonight. 23:59 to 4. Huh. Interesting. Because it's a joke at Meta. We like ribbing our friends. Yeah, Squarish, yeah. Terrible news.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Okay. Give me 1 second, guys. Guys, I gotta go. I'll be back a little bit later tonight. Yeah, Bree's grandfather just passed away. I gotta go. Sorry. We'll get the remaining mission done, but we did get MLV up to snuff, dude. That thing works excellent. I'm really happy with that. Yeah. Yeah, I gotta go. That's my wife's grandpa, for the people that don't know. So yeah, I'll be back for space news, but I gotta go. So fellas, I'll give, like, when we get back, well, I don't know. It depends. It depends on what happens tonight. I might have to bug out, but I'll keep everybody informed on Discord and stuff, and I'll probably pop back in for a stream, just even if it's for a second, just to update you guys what's going on. But I might have to go for a little bit. So yeah, I'll tell you guys what's going on. But yeah, I'm gonna be flaky for the next week or so. But yeah, no, what can you do, right? So if I come back a little bit later tonight, we'll do a space news. It really depends on how everything goes. But yeah, I gotta go, dudes. So yeah, just in the offbeat chance that we're gone, we might need to go to Michigan, because that's where Bree's family is. If I don't see you guys, I hope everybody has a good Merry Christmas, good holiday, whatever you celebrate. I appreciate it. And look, stuff gets dark right now, but just because it's dark right now, it doesn't mean it's gonna be dark later. Okay? So yeah, if I don't see you guys, I'll hope you have a good holiday. Merry Christmas, everybody. That's into that, you know. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully whenever I get back, we'll hit it guns blazing, guys. You know, just in case I don't see you guys for the holidays and stuff. In 2026, I want more space stuff, more Kerbal, more rocket launch coverage, and yeah, I want to try to return to form. I've been very flaky for the last, because of real life stuff like this, for the last couple of months, and I'm looking to fix that. So yeah, I'll see you guys then. Thank you very much for watching. I'm not sure when I'll be back. Maybe later tonight, might not be for a week. I'll see you. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you, and I'll see you later.